Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the FusionFall retro playthrough. My name is Prizzy, and in the last part we did some more missions downtown. And in this part we're going to do some more missions downtown. I figured that at least with Big Boy performing in the Super Bowl this past week, I would do the missions that we can do in Marquee Row, because that is based off of Class of 3000. Class of 3000, of course, is based on Andre 3000 of Outcast, and Big Boy, you gotta tie that in there, is also a member of Outcast, the other member. Anyway, I'm in City Station because we have some missions to get from Dexbot Q12 that will hopefully guide us towards Marquee Row, and we also have a couple more things to do as well. Music and Mayhem, Part 1. Objective, improve Buttercup Nano. Assignment, locate Buttercup at Marquee Row in Midtown. So it looks like we're going to be able to find Buttercup again this episode. She was considered missing for a while. We also have Music and Mayhem Part 2. Objective, develop Ace Nano. Assignment, locate Ace at the auditorium in Marquee Row. So Buttercup and Ace are the two next characters that we have, but also something else is that I'm going to have to run to Townsville Center real quick. And the park as well, so I'm just going to go this way. And while we're walking, the reason why we're walking is because my vehicle expired, so that's why I'm going to Townsville Center, is to go buy a new vehicle. And also, I believe Princess has a mission for us in Townsville Center, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. That wasn't in my plan, I just kind of assumed that she might have one. But yeah. Also, our nanos today, Eduardo, number 5, and Eddie. This was brought to us by Game Over 25, so thank you so much for your nano suggestion. If any of you guys have some more nano suggestions, as we have, I believe, 14 of them, so there's plenty of combinations you can make out of those 14. Let me know in the comments, and I will pick my favorite. Game Over also is going to get the shout out at the end of the episode for notifications, but I'll save that for the end of the episode when we get there. We're going to head on over to the Sunken Mall here. I don't remember. I think the vehicle vendor is like over in the back corner, so we have to walk even more than we normally have to. I showed off the guide vendor items already, I remember. And we're also going to be getting a new piece of guide armor because we're going to be doing Fun and Games Part 1. That is going to have us go to Marquee Row as well. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Princess should have a mission for us. Teen Dream, I believe is what it's called. Unless that's a later level mission. It might be. I might be very wrong as to when you get that. I assumed it was like a relatively... Oh no, she's a mission for us. Let's see if it's Teen Dream. It might be. Or it might not be. I might be wrong though. Let's check it out. Yeah, it is Teen Dream. Okay. Have you met Ben Tennyson? He's like so dreamy. He's Grandpa Max, or his Grandpa Max is nearby in Townsville Park. Can you bring up my glossy 8x10 to headshot? So, Princess is, she got a little bit of a crush on, Ben 10. So she wants you to bring a picture of her to Grandpa Max for some reason, in hopes that he would then bring it to, Ben. I don't know why I don't know why that mission isn't just, like, saved till later and you just give it to Ben. So here's a vehicle vendor. We can only buy the Zumulus Cloud or the Tempest Jet Bike because, unfortunately, our event vehicles have expired. I personally like the Clouds a lot, so I'm going to buy Cloud. We also can probably sell you a lot of things that we don't need. Let's see. What's that? Electro hat? That's kind of cool looking, I'm not going to lie. I might keep that. We have 2 Scurvies. We got Billy's noses we don't need. Some Pardoner hats. Random armor that I know is not as good as what we have. The nose grind shirt's the same. We already have one of those. Oh, that's kickflip, not nose grind. My bad. Don't need that. Pharaoh's Mask, not that big of a fan of. Those are the hollow suits. Don't need you, don't need you. That's probably good for now. I'll sell those too. But that's probably good for now. Anyway, we have a vehicle now, so let's equip that. And now, we have a Zumulus Cloud. I believe we didn't have a cloud like this before. I believe we weren't high enough level. But now we have a Zumulus Cloud, which is perfect. And now we're going to walk on over to... I also really like this building, by the way. I think this is one of the only... I think this actually might be the only instance where it's used. But this building is very cool. I don't know why there's like a projector on the inside of it. Especially because it's facing like away from the general public of the mall. But I really like the design of the building. And I think it's a very cool looking thing. If it wasn't like swarmed by unicycles, which we'll be fighting probably soon, I imagine. But we're gonna head to Townsville Park. We've been here already, I believe. We had to give Grandpa Max the hard drive for Hands on a Hard Drive Part 2, I believe. I might be wrong about that, but I think that's correct. But we've been here before, so this isn't new. We're gonna be in Townsville Park a lot in a couple more parts from now, just because there are a lot of missions in Townsville Park. There are 3 NPCs here. Townsville Park's also a really cool area. In the Academy update, it was actually used for Providence HQ, which was back there. I remember in the Christmas episode, we showed the Ice Titan off. That was back there. That's where Providence HQ was. I kind of already talked about that. Anyway, let's talk to Grandpa Max and give you this photo of Princess.
I might have a mission for you.
Thanks for bringing my photo to Grandpa Max. I'm sure he'll pass it along to his cute grandson, Ben. And if he doesn't, then I'll blast him with laser beams. That's kind of violent, Princess. Dang.
Great job.
Thanks. What am I supposed to do with this exactly? But I'm glad you're here. We got trouble. There we go. So that's basically just like a way to show off that you can like do things. Anyway, number 1 is a mission for us too. There's a reason that I came here, and that's because number 1 has a mission for us that's going to take us to Marquee Row. How to Data Fusion Part 1. I can't do a British accent, so I'm not even going to try. We've got an emergency. I don't have any operatives in the area, and Hydra Slammers are wrecking the auditorium. Can you go over there pronto? I mean, I could probably try a British accent, but it's probably not going to be, like, because number 1's accent isn't, like, super stereotypically British. So if I try to talk like this a little bit, it won't it won't really work. Because my only reference for a British accent is Love Island, and I know that is certainly not what I need. I'm gonna try to dodge these unicycles because I really don't want to fight them. We got to go to Marquee Row. Marquee Row is directly south of town or of City Station. We actually might die. Hold up, I have Eddie. I can heal. I forgot we have a healer this episode. Shout out to Game Over for giving us a healer and a leech. This actually is a super good nano comp. I would argue to say this is one of the best ones we can make out of our nanos right now. I would actually argue that this is the best out of all of our nano combinations right now. Maybe Blue with his stun might be able to. Wait, we have Blue as a stun, right? It's been a couple parts. Yeah, we do. So maybe swapping out Eduardo with Blue would be just as good, if not better. But personally, I like this nano comp. I think this is the best one that we have so far. At least until we get, I think number 1 is like the next nano that we'll get. That kind of really is like one of the better ones in the game. So we are actually going to cut through these buildings here. I'm gonna jump up here just so we don't get like ambushed by monsters. Even though it doesn't matter. So we're in City Station now. We're kind of in the back corner. This is really not an area that many people notice. But there's like a little park over here that enters Marquee Row. I know about this park because these cyber... What are they called? Not cyber stingers. Cyber scorpions? Sonic scorpions, my bad. I placed these here. This was my work. I did a lot of downtown. I filled out a lot of the areas that not a lot of people go to. Like that park over there, and over by the fire thing, I have some of the other, I don't really know what you would call them. Anyway, we're going to do this one first, I think, because we have to, we have to go to Marquee Row like 8 times. Hold up, where are these, things? This one's not the infected zone entrance, okay. I believe these two both are the infected zone entrance, because that's the, yeah, that is. And then this one, I believe, is also the infected zone entrance, maybe? Yes, it is. Okay, so I guess we'll do these 2, or these 3 first. And then we'll do the guide mission. So, how to data fusion. Number 1 says that we have trouble in Marquee Row. Also, where is it? Over here. We also showed this off during the Kanishmas episode, but this theater over here, also a very cool, unique downtown building. I don't believe this is used anymore. Oh, wait. The building itself is used other places. I recognize it because of the roof, and you'll probably see why. Maybe not this part, maybe next part. But it's unique as in that it's like a theater. Like there's like the kiosk or whatever, and then there's the queue or the line for us Americans to get in. It's pretty cool. We're gonna triggle through it around. So there we go. Look for Buttercup in front of the auditorium. I'm gonna wait for all of the things to play before I talk to these guys. But there's Belladonna, Buttercup, and there's Ace. You've reached Marquee Row. Look for Ace at the auditorium. And then Oh, wait, also, I think this is timed, right? The Hydra Slammers is timed. So I guess I'll do this one first. While we're waiting, because I don't want to run out of time. When the Hydra Slammers beat the walls, they cause cracks and goo comes in. So we need to put a stop to these guys. We have to defeat 5 of them before time is up. You need to stop 5 of these creatures before time runs out. Well, good thing they're right here, so it's not that hard. Number 5 also does work to these. Further employing the fact that Leech is a solid power. We're actually kind of on the border to Orchid Bay. We're not really going to go to Orchid Bay, I don't think. I think we actually might... I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure what the guide mission has us do, so that might make us go to Orchid Bay. But the only reason I ever go to Orchid Bay here is to use the Monkey Skyway to go back to City Station. That's like it. But there are a lot of Hydra Slammers over here. I can see why they're a problem. There we go. Great work. Mission accomplished. Okay, so we don't have to worry about time anymore. So let's go get Buttercup, that's what I said. Buttercup's leather jacket, as well as Ace's guitar pick or string. What was it? String. That seems even... I feel like pick would be more useful, but you know. This one's a lot cool too because they have groupies that dance. It makes it harder to hear their voice lines and everything. Like you can barely hear Ace listen. Like you can't really hear him, but because you can hear the Let's Dances in the background. But it's still really cool they have groupies. They are rock stars after all. You know how hard it is to get these guitar strings on the fuses attacked? I hope you appreciate this, kid. I can do the Ace voice, at least decently well, I believe. So if that's awful, tell me. But I think I did pretty decent on that. And here's Buttercup, or Belladonna, if you will. I got a fight with Mojo and lost my memory, but now I've got it back. Tell my sisters I'm okay. And we're going to be doing that. So here's Music and Mayhem. That's one of my favorite leather jackets. This one really keeps the wind shear down when flying at supersonic speeds. And then, personally, one of my favorite missions in the game is I'm Still Standing. We're going to take this one. After a fight with Mojo Jojo, I totally lost my memory, but now I'm okay. Can you please do me a favor and let the professor know that I'm alright? So this one really only makes sense if you've been, like, if you read some of, like, I guess the lore before FusionFall started. So, it's a lot harder to find out. I just kind of assumed it was common knowledge when it's really not. I'm going to go to this marker now. I think that's probably fair. But, I thought it was pretty common knowledge, but it was actually relatively hard to find that information, especially now that the game's down. But essentially what had happened was that before Fuse invaded, Buttercup, Blossom, and Bubbles, the Powerpuff Girls, of course, were in a fight with Mojo, kind of around this area, downtown Townsville, against he was in like a giant robot or whatever. And somehow, it's never really stated how, I think modern interpretation of it, I guess modern is kind of a weird word, but interpretation of it now is that Mojo tried to like shoot a laser at Blossom, right? Buttercup intervened and got hit with it and got knocked away into the ocean. Normally that's fine, right? In the Powerpuff Girls show, they get knocked around a lot and they always end up coming back totally fine. What do you want? I'm trying to tell a story. But Buttercup never came back. And essentially, it made them all very, very worried as to what actually happened to Buttercup. And it turns out that she actually got knocked in the ocean, lost her memory, and wound up on shore, not knowing who she was. Until there are a lot of monsters in here. I placed these, so I have no one to blame but myself. But still, but she lost her memory, was taken in by Ace and the Gangarene Gang, and became Belladonna. So that's kind of the story behind it. And why I really like that mission is just because it acknowledges that, and it's just like kind of heartwarming, where you have to go tell Buttercup's family that she's okay, or I guess just the professor now, but it's gonna eventually be all of the Powerpuff Girls as well. So we're going to Marquee Row here. What do we have to do? Hi, Fuse's goo monsters are like all over the place, so like watch out. Defeat the Street Crushers. Okay. We have to get Super Mega Blastoids 10 from them. That is our goal as of right now. Eduardo's going to be good against these guys a lot. Make sure I like heal and I don't fall. There we go. Oh yeah, you did it. Bring me the game, okay? So we got to go bring that back to blue. And so we have to turn in all 4 of our missions. Now we have to run back to number 1. We have to give these to the deck spot. We gotta do some other things. Give it to blue. That's what I was forgetting. Give it to blue. And then we should be good to do some more missions in the Marquee Row area, as far as I remember. So I'm trying to think if I have anything else to talk about. I think we're already right here, so there's no point cutting the video. But I also really like, something I'll talk about, I guess, is kind of like miscellaneous, right? This river here. This river is not like specific. It's not like named anything. There's no special like trivia behind it. I just really like this river because of like level design, if that makes sense. So basically, right, this river here is kind of acting as like a natural barrier to, that's Mojo's volcano on the other side of that. Mojo's volcano, I believe, is like level like 18 or something. Like the monsters are a lot harder than the ones here. And I always like was fascinated by like how can you have, right? How can you have oh wow, that just disappeared. I'm just trying to get to the top of this tower. How can you have like two areas, right, side by side? City Station, the monsters level like 12, 13, right? Mojo's they're level 18 or 17. I don't remember exactly what. But how do you have that? How do you have two areas so high level compared to each other, right next to each other? And I guess the answer is that river. That river does like a really good job at like basically preventing anyone from ever wanting to go over there. And I guess another reason would be the placement of like NPCs and stuff, because in City Station there aren't like many NPCs. If you want to get missions from people, you have to go this. I went the wrong way. This way, like to the center for Princess, for Mayor and Bubbles at the City Hall, and for everyone in Townsville Park. All like the NPCs and missions require you either going down or this way, and then you kind of have to like loop around, like when you get like missions for new levels. And I think that's really smart and a really good way of kind of like sectioning off downtown. Because downtown right now is a big blob, and it would be very hard to balance if you could go in any way. You can go in any way you want, technically, but it kind of tricks you. Tricks is kind of a weird word, but it kind of like convinces you that you don't need to go that way. There's nothing that way, because there's no NPCs or any like monsters or anything you need to fight that way. I just think it's very interesting, and definitely like something to think about when you're doing like game design and everything. Definitely something I'll be looking at for like Legacy. Let's turn in our nano items. Mission accomplished. Buttercup nanos are now in track for enhancement. Leather jacket obtained. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. Ace nanos are now in track for enhancement. And then I'm sure he's going to say like guitar string obtained. Guitar string acquired. Please request autograph next time. That's kind of funny. We also got the crown orangs, I believe. They're like grenades of Princess's crown that explodes. Kind of lame because grenades are not good. These are better than we have. There you go. Now we got some stylish orange pants. I'm going to, since blue is like right here, I'm just going to go to blue. Because you can see him from here with the new render distance. Huh! It's not that far of a walk at all. But yeah, also there's like this building with a cool like travel. There's a lot of really cool things downtown. That I guess I've just never noticed. And even then, I wouldn't say downtown is even like my favorite area in the game. I think the wilds are by far my favorite area. Or a favorite like section of the game, just because of how beautiful a lot of the areas are. We haven't really gone to many of the wilds, but even then, Prickly Pines, which we have been to, it's been pretty like the scenery and like the waterfalls and everything. I really like it, especially when we get to my personal favorite area in the game, and I know it's probably the favorite for a lot of others. Forgotten Falls, which we'll get to around like level 20 something. That is also a very beautiful area that I know a lot of people like to go for. All right, blue. Well, that's great. I went through all that trouble to get my game back, and it's totally broken. Now what am I supposed to do? I'm bored. Thanks. Hey, the disc is totally scratched. Now what am I supposed to do? Well, here's a reward for you. Thanks for nothing. And that was our, I believe, yeah, because the blue skate shoes are better than we have. And also, we have to go back to number 1, so I'm going to cut and see you there. Alright, we are back in Townsville Park, and we're going to talk to number 1, turn this mission in.
I might have a mission for you.
The walls of the auditorium took a pounding, but you saved the place before they could tear it down. I could use more kids like you in the KND.
Nice job.
Excellent work. Now I won't miss the Gangrene Gang concert. Nice. Okay, so we have I'm Still Standing still. The other things that we can do is that the How to Date a Fusion mission line is still continuing because You get them from Buttercup and Ace, the rest of the mission line in Marquee Row. So we're gonna go do the rest of that. All right, back in Marquee Row, Belladonna Buttercup has another mission for us. How to Date a Fusion Part 2. If these lame creatures destroy the auditorium, we can't have any more concerts. The Terrafusion machine is going out of control and starting to multiply. So these go to the auditorium victim. So these might be a bit tricky. Because there are some reports of Marquee Row Infected Zone, Sunny Bridges Auditorium, crashing when you enter. You need to get the first mini Terrafuser, hurry. So we're gonna see if that happens. If that happens, then if it does happen, then you won't see this part at all. But if it doesn't happen, and we don't crash, then that's a good thing. We have to. There's a little secret technique if you don't want to do all that like platforming over there. You can kind of just sneak around this way. That's a little bit of a fun tip if you need to platform around Marquee Row. So the mini Terrafuser is, well, we're getting attacked by Sonic Scorpions. Sonic Scorpions are very unique and cool. I very much like them. The mini Terrafuser is up there, so we have to somehow get up on these platforms. This jump pad probably is the way to do that, I would imagine. We need to get over there. I'm not sure if these note cards make it over there because those are different. But I guess we'll find out. I really like Sunny Bridges Auditorium. I never watched much of Class of 3000. I didn't know it was a show before I was introduced it in FusionFall. But I have listened to a lot of the songs since then, and oh my gosh, the songs are amazing. Andre 3000, already one of my favorite musicians. So any other stuff that he does is certainly welcome by me. We're going to grab this mini Terrafuser right here. I believe there's like 3 or so we have to do. But basically, we gotta clean up the infected zone. Mini Terrafusers, or the big Terrafusers, like that big one over there, he is huge, are starting to multiply into smaller ones, and we need to stop them before we get that first auditorium seedling. Cool, that's it. There's another one nearby that you need to find. Okay, and we can probably... I learned a really cool tip about rockets. You can actually, right, I play with WASD, so I never knew this. You can actually maneuver on rockets like this. We kind of did that bad just because of things. But if you use the arrow keys and not WASD, you can actually... I guess you could also do that with Q and E, I'm assuming, because they're the same button. But, you actually maneuver while you're getting fired out of cannons. And I honestly never knew that. I probably should have known that, because I used to play with arrow keys back when I was a kid. I guess I just forgot. Because I definitely remember I most certainly did that. But it kind of got lost on me now. But if you ever need to maneuver, like you don't really shoot out of the rocket or the cannon, I guess, the way you want to, use Q and E or use left and right arrow key, and you can maneuver in midair. I genuinely didn't know that. I learned that on my stream last week or something. I believe it was last week. And it was some information that I honestly never knew, and I never knew I needed until now. Anyway, second auditorium seedling. Got it. Nice. There's one more left, and it's about to grow into a Terrafuser. Uh-oh. Looks like we got to do some time stuff. I'm going to just kind of jump out of the slide. Save a little bit of time. This part can get kind of tricky, not because the platforming is kind of tricky, but because it's like deceptively easy, right? So you think you can handle this. You think you can just like jump across, and you end up falling because of the flipping platforms, and you go down into that pit full of Sonic Scorpions, and it's not fun at all. Trust me. Like how I'm about to. Okay, we got out. There we go. Man, you got some killer moves. I think you got a whole bunch of the goo. Those mini Terrafusers won't have any problems anymore. Good job. Phew, nice work. The auditorium is safer for now. Well, that's perfect. That's exactly what we need. So we're going to exit the area. And we are going to maybe get... Yeah, there we go. I believe part 3 is also given by Buttercup or Ace, one of the two. Don't remember which one. One of the two. We're going to see. It looks like it's Buttercup because Ace doesn't have a thing you've already said. Yeah, it's Buttercup. We're going to finish this mission line because I think the whole mission line can be done at this level. And then we're going to do I'm Still Standing. Sonic Scorpion stole Ace's guitar, but if I just go near those things, my heart starts ringing. Can you help me get Ace's guitar back? For sure. So we got to defeat Sonic Scorpions. They stole Ace's guitar. Good thing they are literally right here. So we're fine. And also that number 5 is good against them. So we really don't have to worry about it. Oops, I'm shooting in the wrong direction. There we go. That was easy. You got it! That was a relatively fast and easy mission to do. Thanks for your help. That was rad. The sonic scorpions really make my head hurt. They sound terrible. Hey, thanks. Ace would have been so upset if this thing got lost. Stupid fuse is really messing everything up. You're cool to help out. Okay, now part 4 is given to us by Ace. There's about to be a twist in the mission line. Thanks, get my guitar back, dude, but Buttercup's been acting really weird lately. Can you help me without, like, a covert mission? Check out first location. So this is kind of... Lil Arturo said he saw Buttercup hanging around with Fuse's monsters and dumping fuse goo out on the auditorium. He could be lying because he doesn't like me hanging around with her so much. Maybe you should retrace her path inside the infected zone and look for clues. So that's actually, I believe, the only... Well, I guess this mission, because I think he's mentioned again at the end of the mission. But Lil Arturo is one of the members of the Gangrene Gang. He's going to be an NPC in Legacy, along with the rest of the band members. But this is, I think, the only mission where he's referenced in the game, which is kind of cool. I don't think they mentioned any of the other Gangrene Gang. We also can't do our little trick because the first waypoint is over there. So we're gonna have to just normally platform like a scrub of some kind. Unfortunate. Hopefully these Sonic Scorpions don't attack me. They have it. Yep, they're about to do that. They have a tendency of attacking. I can't really fight them from over here just because of the way, like... Oh, make sure they don't eruption you. That's bad. But we should be good. Or at least relatively good. As relatively good as we can get. But yeah, Lil Archer mentioned once in the game. Or I guess twice, I think, in this one mission line. Which is kind of cool how they reference characters that aren't necessarily in the game. I know Mayor references Miss Bellum a lot. I can't really think if there's any other ones. At least off the top of my head. I'm sure we'll notice that if we find... We'll obviously notice it if we find it, but... I don't see nothing there. Okay, so next waypoint, it looks like it's over there. The quickest way is to honestly probably go this way. That's some janky collision right there, if I do say so myself. Huh! There we go, and then you gotta hop up on this thing. Or fight these guys for whatever reason. They're all coming after me. Here we go. Oops. It is that way. So it's pretty much exactly where the mini Terrafuser was. Just a bit off. Or a bit farther back. It's not going to be a problem, though. Let's head on up there. Oops. Almost fell off. I guess my one gripe with a lot of these infected zones is that the platforms could move faster, and nothing would be lost. Like you wouldn't miss out on anything if the platforms were faster, right? You just have more opportunity to get on them. But I don't know. Maybe there was a problem with making them faster or something. I'm not really sure. But I think at least if these were faster, it would make this a lot easier. There we go. Nope, nothing there either. Keep looking. Okay, so I can see the third one. I'm going to try to cannon my way up there. Again, my cannon skills, not the greatest, but we're going to try our very best. Ooh! Nailed it. Look at that. I'm a cannon god. Nada. I'm going to punch Lardo when I see him. Alright, check the fourth location. Ah, a little bit of a fourth location here. Is that a fusion layer? It is a fusion layer, but nothing here either. We'll check out one more area, okay? And then you check out... So that one's kind of weird because the two waypoints are right on top of each other. But that fourth waypoint was up here. Dude, a secret entrance! And then the fifth point was on the fusion layer. It's Fusion Buttercup's epic layer. But we can't go in there yet. That's part 5. We gotta return to Ace and... Don't go in there. I gotta tell you something first. Ace needs to rendezvous with us beforehand. Stuff like that also didn't make sense to me because if Ace needed to tell me something, he was currently talking to me on like the phone, so he could just tell me and then have me go in there. But they gotta stretch out the mission line. I understand. But that's one thing I'm actually kind of excited for about Legacy is making the missions longer and making them actually make sense. Let's warp on out. Go check up on Ace, see what he has to say to us. What's up, pal? Looking for a mission? The secret door means that Buttercup could have been meeting with Fuse's minions on the sly. Maybe you can help us investigate it. That secret door you found makes me worried that little Arturo could be right. You think Buttercup would really meet with Fuse's idiot friends? Dude, that would be so lame. And then, the final part of this mission, part 5. Great job finding that secret door. Now I need to know if Buttercup is really hanging out with Fuse's groupies. Can you help me investigate? I do like Ace's voice in this game. Got you on the flip side. So we gotta go back to the infected zone. We gotta go back to the lair. And we'll see. We'll investigate. Okay, you need to go back and find that door. Good thing we know where it is. We also can use our secret platforming technique. This is also easier with a rocket nano, I've found. If you are having trouble kind of like sticking the landings. Rocket makes it easier. Or jump, honestly. Or run even would make it easier. Any movement nanos. Okay, so we need to get up there. I think the only way up there is to kind of just ride the platforms. I might be wrong though. Well, I guess it's kind of hard to like assess the situation when there's a bunch of sonic scorpions on your ass. There we go. The cannon actually might have made it easier, but I think it's harder to get to the cannon than it is to just do this. There's a recall point too. Recall point, well, the recall point resets when you leave infected, so that really wouldn't have been helpful, I don't think. But that recall point is there if you need it for anything, any schemes. We are going to be using recall pretty soon in the future. So I don't know. It depends on the nano suggestions, but I might like kind of slightly take a nano suggestion. Because when we get to the Fisher, I'm gonna need recall. Fusion Buttercup's epic lair. Let's get on in there. This is the second epic lair. Dude, that's not my Buttercup. That's Fusion Buttercup. Get her. This is the second epic lair, right? The first one was Fusion Aces, so those two are the only characters in the game with epic lairs. So after this, we'll be done with all the epic lairs in the game. And even then, epic doesn't necessarily mean the lairs are harder, because these are probably just as hard as, or I would say just as hard, just as easy, if not easier, than, I guess there are a lot of enemies kind of just chilling on the walls and stuff, so that might make it hard. I can see. Maybe the quantity of enemies might have something to do with it. There we go. We kind of just have to take out Buttercup. We don't have to worry about any of these Sonic Scorpions, but the problem is it's so close quarters that we kind of have to deal with them, you know? Because we can't really sneak by them when the quarters are so slim like this. There we go. Off the rails. Don't you know it's time to raise our sails? There. Oh, hello, Fusion Buttercup. You're kind of just chilling right there. Well, I guess now's a better time as ever to fight you. Hey, Buttercup, remember me from the future? Ah, I remember you too. There we go. What a relief. Lord Arturo must have seen Fusion Buttercup and thought it was my girl. Thanks for clearing that up. I owe Arturo a punch in the ear. Man, I'm glad you got rid of that chick. I knew my Buttercup was true blue. And with that, How to Date a Fusion has been completed. We took out Fusion Buttercup. That is the last time I believe we'll be fighting Fusion Buttercup, from what I remember. So we don't have to fight her ever again. The first ever fusion that we fought was Fusion Buttercup, so we kind of just put the walloping on her once more. And we're going to leave, and then after this we have one more mission to do. One more mission to finish, and that's the one that's currently highlighted. I'm still standing. I think that's a pretty somber way, or emotional way to end the part. So since this has a lot of traveling, I'm just going to cut between all the places that you have to go. But let's get on the road and do I'm Still Standing. Alright, so here we are in the Genius Grove. Professor Utonium is the first person we're going to be telling. Hey, Professor, guess what I have? Guess what news I have? Buttercup is alive and okay? Oh, thank heavens. Please tell Blossom right away. And then now we've got a Blossom. You've seen Buttercup? I knew she was still alive. This is the best news. You need to go tell Bubbles. And that's what happens when you talk to Blossom, and then Bubbles, of course, downtown. And then finally, the last of the Powerpuffs to tell, Bubbles.
Would you like a mission?
Oh, I think I'm gonna cry. You mean Buttercup was here downtown the whole time? I'm so glad she's alright. Please, bring her this flower.
See you later, alligator.
And then we made the rounds. Now we gotta return back to Buttercup and tell her that her family is aware that she's alright and okay. Alright, Buttercup, your time is now. Thanks, I'm still trying to get my head around everything that happened. It's sort of a drag, but it's cool to be in a rock band. Did you meet my boyfriend Ace? We sure did. Everyone was happy to hear him okay? That's sweet. I know I'll be strong enough to see them all soon. Thanks for your help, man. I hate sappy endings. Well, speaking of sappy endings, that's going to be the end of the episode today, so thank you so much for watching. Make sure you guys to leave a like if you guys are enjoying this series so far. Make sure to leave a comment with your feedback so I know how to improve these episodes and make them as good as you expect them to be. Also, be sure to comment any nano suggestions. Again, thank you, Game Over 25. Oops, excuse me, Game Over 25 for Eduardo, number 5, Eddie. Really good nano comp. We kind of got a lot of use out on this episode because of some fighting that we had to do. And make sure you guys hit the subscribe button to stay notified whenever I upload a future video. If you guys ring the notification bell, so you guys always get like a notification when I upload a new video, that's the best way to make sure you never miss an upload. If you guys ring the bell and tell me in the comments, I would be very much appreciative, and I'll give you guys a shout out if you tell me. Anyway, game over. As well as suggesting the nano lineup this episode, you also turned on notifications, and for that I am so thankful. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Anyway, guys, I am going to see you later. Again, thanks for watching. In the next part, we'll probably check out the wilds and see what we can do over there. And other than that, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.